Hello, Taurus, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Jen with Bohemian Path Tarot, and it's time for December readings. Now, as always, this is going to be a general reading for a general audience of Taurians, so it's not quite the same as a one-to-one reading. I'll provide a few options or scenarios for how the cards might express themselves or show up for different Taurians, so take it as it resonates. Some months it might feel like a personal reading. Some months there's just a nugget or two that really clicks, and some months maybe not as much. So I invite you to check out the videos for all your big placements. That would be your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign. Now, don't be afraid of the heads up advice. Sometimes we get practical guidance. You know, it's not all rainbows, but do remember the cards do not compel. You have free will and discernment, so claim what resonates and leave the rest. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and give the deck a really good shuffle for you. And if you've been here before, you know I like to fast forward through the shuffling part, and I will catch up with you when I'm ready to lay out the cards. See you in just a bit. Okay, Taurus, let's see what we've got. Ooh, the Magician. Strength. The Chariot. And the Two of Cups. Wow. So right off, 3 of the 4 cards are major arcana cards. So we're seeing that this is a pretty significant month of potent shifts and changes. You're kind of in the middle of the pack of the readings I've done so far, and a lot of folks have received more kind of calm months, mostly minor arcana cards, which are, kind of day-to-day events. Still useful advice and guidance, but more sort of day-to-day practical advice. When we see the major arcana come out, we see sort of major shifts ahead. This is where our sort of powerful moments are coming. You've got 3 of these. So let's take a look card by card. I read the card that falls in this position as sort of your theme for this particular reading. This isn't the only thing that's going to happen for you December, but for this particular reading, we're focused on this Two of Cups card. And this is all about connections and feeling satisfaction within your connections. This can be speaking to romantic connections, but it can also be platonic connections or business connections. So we'll talk about all of those. If you are in a committed relationship, this could be one of those times when you really focus on deepening that connection. You could be taking a romantic connection to the next level. This could be the first time you say those magic words, or make a firm commitment, decide to make a commitment or move in together, something like that. It could be in a platonic relationship. It could be the sort of thing where you really feel connected with a friendship. You might decide to move in with a friend. You could actually make a collaborative connection with an artist you like, a friend. You might decide to make an artistic sort of collaboration. That's true in business as well. You might decide that someone you work really well might, there might be a collaboration or a collaborative effort that could benefit you. But this could also be something in terms of a contract. You might decide, or you might be offered a role in an organization or with a business, and you might take a position in a company and be really validated to take on a position and feel really connected with a role or a position or a contract. It's in kind of a up-leveling sort of way, in a way that really validates your experience so far. Finally taking on a position that feels right and feels like it reflects who you are and sort of your resume in a way that no other position has up to this point. So let's take a look at some of the other cards and see how they play into this particular position, this particular card. So of course the Magician here is the manifester of the tarot. It's the card that reflects your capacity to pull in the sorts of opportunities and the people and the experiences that you want for yourself. It's the kind of thing where you believe in your abilities, your talents, and your skills, and you have faith in the universe or your surroundings or your environment, and your capacity to kind of connect with those things. So using your talents, putting yourself out there, putting the razzle dazzle, it's both the talent and the belief working together to bring you the things that you want. Sometimes, things like the vision board and lighting a candle, support you. But there's also, the truth of it is there's the legwork and the practice and the rehearsing that you're doing as well. It's not just magic. You're not just, poofing a thing into existence. It's if there's a job that you want, it's a job that you have worked for, that you have the skill set for, or you have gone to school for, or whatever it is. Like, you have worked for it, and you have maybe applied for it or put out resumes for it, or you've branded yourself on social media to attract the attention required to, that sort of thing. You're doing the work, you have the talent, and then you also are putting forth, the correct visualization behind it. I think you get the idea there, right? So that is feeding into what this is. I should... before I move ahead, I should say it's not only in career matters. That could also be true in terms of relationships, right? It could be the sort of thing where if you're single and looking, it's not enough to just believe that you're ready for a relationship. It's putting yourself out there. It's telling friends and family that you're single and looking, you're available for blind dates or what have you, or putting yourself on dating apps, or, going to parties and keeping your eyes open, or volunteering at places with organizations where you might meet like-minded people, where you could maybe meet someone who has a similar worldview or similar interests as you, that sort of thing. But also remaining hopeful and, trusting in a benevolent universe that has your back in terms of relationships. So this could happen in a number of different areas of your life. It's the effort combined with the hopefulness that brings the manifestation, right? And it's the manifestation of a connection that is validating and very satisfying. That is the heart of this reading. Okay, moving on to the Strength card. The Strength card is all about grace under pressure. And that's not to say you're necessarily going to be under pressure. But there's an element of bravery here, right? Being able to go after what you want unapologetically. Being able to be vulnerable about what you want unapologetically. And that can happen sometimes, when you really want a job or a particular career path. Sometimes we can get in our own heads about the thing that we want most, even if we've trained for it or whatever. Sometimes we can be a little vulnerable about, am I really worthy? The Strength card is having that courage to believe, that, maybe feeling the fear and going for it anyway. Same is true of pursuing relationships, sometimes going after a crush, being vulnerable in that way, trusting that, we can only truly connect with someone else if we risk that vulnerability and show our true self. So the Strength card is really about being our true, beautiful, authentic self. Bravely, even if it might otherwise be a scary situation. And then finally, we have the Chariot card. And the Chariot card is a victory card. It's forward motion. It's momentum. It's things start to pick up. It's things start to take off. It's like a green light, right? There is determination that's associated with this card. There is also the element of needing sort of planning, and I would say since we have Mercury retrograde as December starts, and for about the first half of December Mercury is retrograde, there might be a little message here about taking care while making travel plans, because this is when Mercury is retrograde. There is that piece where sometimes travel can be delayed. Sometimes travel gets a little bit wonky. And we even see it in the art of this particular card. These horses are kind of at cross purposes. So there's just maybe a little heads up here if you are planning travel. Even though in the grand scheme, this is a reading about making progress and moving forward, there may be some mixed messages here and some minor delays or confusion that Mercury causes. So just be sure that you plan ahead, leave a lot of padding in your schedule, leave a lot of extra time for any, if you have to fly anywhere or take public transportation, or even with your car, if you travel by car, of course, most people do, but you get the idea there. So this is really a beautiful reading, Taurus, and I'm actually quite jealous. And it's highly significant. I think you might be feeling it as the month opens. Just as a quick review, so this Two of Cups is about connecting, and it can be in the area of romantic relationships, platonic relationships, or business relationships. We have manifestation. We have courage, bravery, grace under pressure, and forward momentum. Just take care with those travel plans. I hope that's helpful, Taurus. Don't forget to check your other placements. If you've found this inspiring, I invite you to like, share, subscribe. In any case, thank you so much for dropping by. Until next time, take good care. Bye for now.